Good morning. It's Friday. Yes, we made it. It's Friday. I don't know how awake you are. I should be way more awake than I am, but I'm here. Today is a lot cooler than it was yesterday and the day before. I know throughout different parts of the nation, there have been storms and things that have happened. I certainly hope any of you that experienced negative weather, we'll call it, survived it, and that not too much was damaged. Other than that, in St. Louis, it's been hot. So I'm very grateful for cooler weather today. What I am even more grateful for is today is not a work day for me. So today is a really get it in kind of crochet today. There's a break. There's a break today because I will be running to the doctor for a brief appointment. And I also have to run to the doctor on Monday. So take care of yourselves. If you're not doing that, start, please. Speaking of starting, I've started this video. Have you started stretching that finger towards the like button? Did you? You know I need it, and you know I'm going to bring it up. So why not just get it out the way so that mother hasn't the need to fuss? It makes it easier for the both of us. Believe me, it does. While you're at it, of course, please subscribe. And apparently, some insect decided to invite themselves to their party. They were not invited, yet they came. It's their house. Let's let them have it. Anyway, like, subscribe, stick around. There's a lot going on. I want to do something, or actually talk about something this morning that I should have talked about a couple of days ago, and I hadn't. And it wasn't because I didn't want to, it's because I forgot. I think about a lot of things simultaneously, and I have a major case of imposter syndrome. So when I hit that button to start talking to you guys, sometimes the very thing I want to talk about, or the very thing that's on my mind to say, oh, I need to say that in a video, right out the window, is gone. The girl can't remember. But today I remember. Somebody asked me, what is my favorite yarn? And what is my favorite project to make? I think I even asked you guys the same question, or at least pretty close. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. I should have. What is your favorite yarn? And what do you most enjoy creating? And while you're at it, what do you hate to create or you would never, ever create? Forgive my glance down. You know what I do, and you know why I'm doing it. So just overlook me. Call it a squirrel moment. Anyway, to answer the question, my favorite yarn varies from project to project. I enjoy value yarns. I enjoy value yarns because I can afford them. They're genuinely easy to access. I love carrying 1 pound. In fact, I'll share this with you. Excuse me. This past March, which was my birthday month, I got a couple of people who reached out to me because I'm a horrible person to purchase gifts for. I'm just telling you right off the bat. I am horrible because I am ridiculously picky. I want what I want. I want it my way. I want it in my color, and I want it right now, which is probably why oftentimes before I can get a gift, I've already gotten the item that I wanted. My kids will tell you that they don't try to buy me gifts. They just go, um, so have you gotten such and such? And if the answer is no, then I might get it. But as a general rule, 9 times out of 10, I buy my own gifts. I'm not a girl that likes surprises. I love, I love love, but I don't necessarily like being gifted things. Not because I don't appreciate them, but again, I'm picky. And that's not a bad thing. I know what I like. Having said having a couple of people that I genuinely care about, who genuinely care about me, reach out and say, Michelle, what would you like for your birthday? Because they knew she gon' she gonna be Michelle. And I replied, I'd like some yarn. Now, that's a funny statement, and it's a big statement because you guys know there is all types of yarn. There's all types of thicknesses and fiber mixes and so on and so forth. With that being the case, I specified if you're going to get yarn from me, number one, I love carrying 1 pound. I love carrying 1 pound because it's my workhorse yarn. I can make most anything with that. It has the right density and thickness. It's not too thin for a 4 weight worsted yarn. It's acrylic. And I, previous to what I'll explain in a minute, had not worked with wool because in the past, when I've encountered wool, I've had an allergic reaction. So, excuse me, I didn't want any wool. I like Karen Simply Soft because it has that slip and that slick and that sheen that I like. So that was also on my list. And I don't think I put a cotton on there. I don't remember. Again, it's August. That was March. I barely remember. Now, could I go back to my phone and look it up? Sure. Will I? But I also put color schemes. For example, my favorite color is pink. I know. I know. There are some of you that would die before you had pink in your zone, or you only like one pink. Hmm. Need we name names? I don't think we should. With that said, I am a pink girly. I am a pink girly since as far back as I can remember. I distinctly remember being in first grade and everybody had a favorite color or was thinking that they had a favorite color at that time. It may have changed from then to now. I don't know. Don't matter. My favorite color was pink. My favorite color was pink. My favorite shape was star. And for my birthday, when I was in first grade, my grandfather took me to a local department store and bought me a pair of earrings, a necklace, and a bracelet. And they were silver and they had stars on them. The star earrings, the necklace had a star on it, and the bracelet was a chain link bracelet. And he purchased a charm, a star charm that went on that bracelet. And I loved them. But I also remember a couple of years later, my dad's mom, whose birthday was the exact same day as mine, we would race to call one another to wish each other happy birthday. And man, if you don't know anything about me, if you don't remember anything about me, there are a very select few people who have DNA relation to me who meant the world to me. And unfortunately, other than my own children and a couple, and I mean like two biological relatives, they're all gone. They're all gone. My I'm blessed enough to have shared a part of my life in existence and have memory of my great grandmother. My great grandmother was 88 years older than I am. She died at 107. And this lady had her faculties and wits about her till 72 hours before she passed. She was blessed enough not only to have two daughters, she had a handful of grandchildren, as in six. That meant she had, at the time of her passing, I want to say 22 great grandchildren. And I promise you, she knew every last one of them. But what's amazing is this lady also had great grandchildren, of which my daughter was one of them. So she was one of my champions. When I was born, for a brief time, my mother lived with her. And I was I wasn't the healthiest child as a baby. I had asthma. I still have asthma. I hear I hear barking and fighting. Forgive me. Sorry about the interruption. I heard dogs, and my son is walking my dogs right now. So my ears were alerted when I heard a small sounding dog barking. I'm 99% sure it's not my dog, but the dog that's being walked right now is a little bit crazy. So, anyway, back to my story. Interruptions. My great grandmother was my champion. She was a golden lady. And as such, she bought me my first purse. It was a little white wicker purse. There, of course, as I said, was my dad's mom, who I shared a birthday with. When I was in third grade, she purchased me a pair of pink pants and this really sheer top that I had to wear something under because I couldn't just wear the top. Again, this is the 70s. You all be patient with us. I'm a Gen X kid. It's what you get. But they were the most beautiful pastel pink pants. Loved these pants. Unfortunately, grew too tall for those pants pretty stinking quick. But, oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was everything and then some in those pants and that top. So, yeah, I thought I was everything. In fact, the pants were a little more richly colored pink than this. This is a pale pink. They were more of a petal pink. If you know Red Heart Petal, they were more that pink, just a little lighter. So that explains my pink. I told that, explained the details of the types of pinks that I like. I also, would have happily accepted any neutral colors like the creams or white or black, any complementary color to those things. So all of a sudden, a couple of days later, after I made that post, my former next door neighbor and very dear friend sent me through Amazon yarn. And it kept coming, and it kept coming, and it kept coming. And I could not have been happier. One of my daycare clients on my birthday, well, before my birthday, because I don't work on my birthday. Sorry, it's a no no. It's all about me that day. Sorry, no, not working. But with that said, they popped in with a bag of yarn. And the funny part is, as I look down, that bag is still in rotation in this menagerie that I call my home because it is my one of my project bags. It's my primary bring everything to the porch bag right now. But that yarn was delicious. It was Karen Simply Soft. Nothing fancy, nothing great about it in the sense that it's just a basic acrylic yarn. For some people, they don't like to work with it because it's splitty, or it can be. It's not uh it's not a tight wind. So yeah, I get the point of it being slippy and a little bit splitty. And if you use a metal headed hook, it can plop right through it. That can be problematic for some people. I like the way the fabric works up. So that's just me. But for my birthday, as I said, I was off. My friends who took me to the store and I experienced the Malabrigo Regio. And oh, yes, I love it too. I, had not, I'd never touched superwash merino again. It's a wool. So I avoided it simply because coming in contact with things that I'm allergic to, I'd just rather not. And it turned out because it is, treated and done the way that it is, I'm able to work with it. And addicted. I love it. But it is expensive for me. So that's not something I work with often. To answer the question of what do I like to make, I like to make the things. Pretty much all the things, not the toys. I don't like to make the toys. I don't make amigurumis. And it isn't because I can't. I can. I just I don't care for them. I think they're nice to look at. I've seen some amazing projects and products made from amigurumi, but that's not my wheelhouse. I am I once said that I am more of a Renaissance person. I'm a bare bone basic kind of girl. It needs to have a purpose. I make hats, I make scarves, I make ponchos, I make the things, but I like them to have function. I love learning a new stitch or a new way to put stitches together to make a look. Right now, I am really enjoying seeing different styles of mandala squares and mandala patterns. Whether they're in a square or a circle doesn't bother me. I like them both. They're both really interesting to me. But again, I would, when I look at them, I look at those and say, okay, if you put a border around that and you square it off, turn it into a diamond shape, and you've got four of them, you can make a poncho. I'm a functional person. I feel like, especially, and I said this even before we had that incident that started in 2000 and isn't over, ladies and gentlemen. Please be careful and be safe because I just got over that issue having happened again. I've had it twice. I'd rather never get it again. But however, and anyway, I digress. I I said that if all of a sudden all of the things that we've become so reliant on in our technology use disappeared or were no longer functional. I'm sure for those of you who are old enough, you remember Y2K and everybody having a panic of what if the computers stop working? What if this? What if? I'm a basic person. I know how to make things. I know how to cook. I don't know how to sew using a sewing machine, but if you gave me thread and fabric, I could probably sew something with my hands. I knit. I don't want to knit anymore. I can, I have the capability. I do know how to read patterns. I crochet. I love crochet. I talk about crochet like somebody talks about the sexiest man alive. I could talk about crochet all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Yes, I love crochet. Um, I feel the same way about food. That may not be good, but I love food. I can smell something and pretty close tell you what the ingredients are. I like the way food doesn't just fuel you. It doesn't just feed you. It gives you connection, a memory. I like that food has texture and fabric and it invokes a response, good or bad. I like growing things. I like plants. I will admit though, and Mama Wench, be easy with me. You can usually tell how I'm doing by how my plants are doing. When my plants need a little extra attention, and my plants are on the other side of the porch, so I can see them right now. They like their spot, and I like that spot for them for right now. They'll go in the house when it gets cool, but for now, they're enjoying being outside, and they're house plants. So technically, they should stay in the house. But right now, they're liking the outdoors. And the weird part is, I'm kind of liking the outdoors in the early morning. After it gets hot, no, your girl's inside where the air is. I got my fan. She she's working right now. And yes, she's on a battery bank because I need that fan. Anyway, I like making blankets. Those are some of my favorite things, and I guess they're my favorites. Mm, excuse me. I guess they're my favorites because I make so many of them. I make a blanket for every child who comes into my daycare. For some of those children who, when they leave with a brand new blanket too. One of my former daycare clients who just graduated from high school, I did a blanket for him for his graduation, which was my first successful C to C, corner to corner crocheted blanket. I'd never done one successfully. I never could get the lines straight. And I'll be honest with you, it was because I wasn't counting. I am not a numbers girl. Correction. I didn't know I was a numbers girl. And I find that funny because for years my son had been told counting and math was not his subject. This is a person who loves Spider-Man. So, bam, the whole idea of Spider-Man is, when you boil it down, he's a science guy. You can't have science if you don't have math. So, you really, whether you like it or not, if you crochet, numbers is at the genesis of what you do. You have to have X number of chains to start a lot of your patterns. For those of you that use the magic circle when you're making something in the round, you have to have X number of this to go into that. And it's numbers based. If your project is coming out wonky, it's because your count is off somewhere. Again, it's numbers based. I just did a crochet along a few months ago. And in that project, the person who created it and designed it was having the blues, not just with their technology, But they were having the blues with the fact that this thing wasn't working up the exact right way. And people were having a problem with it and, expressing that to this person. And they replied, okay, I'm going to fix this. And every week that they released a portion of this pattern, they released the stitch count row by row. Every stitch was counted and accounted for. And the proof is in the pudding because the product is perfection. It is beautiful. I know because I made it. I love it. It sits on the back of my recliner and goes nowhere. If I am relaxing in my recliner as I crochet, and for some reason I get a little cool, which rarely happens, I'm a hot blood girl. I cover my legs and I continue to crochet and do the things. But I have more than talked your ear off for the day. So I kind of want to spend some time crocheting, and I hope you'll stick around and enjoy that. I'm also planning to pre film the video that you're going to get for Monday, but I do that so that you have something for Monday because I won't be available to film on Monday. I have got way too much planned on my plate for that day to get done all at once in order to squeeze in some filming time. So you're not going to get a same day video on Monday, but I got something planned for you. And I think you'll like it. And if you don't, let me know in the comments. I'll listen. And if you like it, we might do it again and again and again. Yes, I'm in a little bit of a silly mood, so just ignore that. No matter what, whatever you do today, whatever you do this weekend, have some fun today. Be good to yourself. Drink your water. Eat your food. Plan some time to do something good just for you. And do something good for somebody else. Please. Thank you. Now get your stuff out. Let's crochet or knit or whatever you're going to do. Until we talk again, have a great weekend. I'll see you later. Bye.